Hello everyone, my name's Ben and welcome back to Pass the Aux Chord, a channel where we left this album off at track number 7, Iceman. That's where we're at with it. Interesting title, so I mean, without any fiddling around with it, let's just get right in. Always kind of nice when they use water sound. Don't know why, I'm a fan of that though. Like that second melody that comes in there.
I'll spend my days in the hay with the Iceman, spend my nights. Start time, spend your days in the haze with the Iceman.
Really like how the chorus is bigger this time around. Oh, that's really nice. Going back to this water sound at the end there. It's like the song washes in and then washes away. Nice. You know what, like a whole 5 minutes, I wasn't necessarily expecting it to make that good of a use of that entire time, but wow, it really did. It did that, did its job super well on that track, hit that super climactic point. I was kind of worried that it was going to take this acoustic rock approach the entire way through, and I mean, you know, to an extent it did, but it did a lot with that sound. It switched it up quite a bit. It did a lot to change the way that was in the start. Very simple in comparison to the much more complicated ending. Yeah, the song appears to be focusing on drug use, relying on your vices to get through struggles, but at the end of the day being not the right way out, not the right way to deal with your problems. Heart of the Matter is the name of the next one on here.
Hard done by and you get by with a smile with all the battering is taken. What's the matter?
That's so smooth. Very slick vocal performance on here. Like that.
With all taken, I'm surprised that it still takes. Get straight to the heart of the matter. Why so glum so get straight to the heart of the matter. Oh, what's the glum? It's all on a planet. Straight to the heart of the matter.
Nice! That one had such a good chorus on it. Oh, it's so smooth. Just had this good catchiness to it. You know, really good stuff. Man, that's gonna be stuck in my head for the rest of the day. And I feel like that was directly the intention of it. So clearly doing its job and doing it very well on there. Absolutely love that one. You know, it sounded very Arctic Monkeys, very much so like their early stuff. So now I'm beginning to see maybe why this was recommended to me, because that really did remind me a lot of, you know, some favorite Worst Nightmare era stuff. Lyrically seems to consist of dealing with someone who uses sympathy as a way to get what they want, as kind of a backhanded means of achieving, you know, getting something from someone, winning the advantage in a scenario by essentially tricking the person they're talking into that they have it worse than they do. At least that's what I was getting from it. So, you know, it's not a super deep concept or anything, so it really makes more sense that this one was pretty fun sounding. Still kind of had that edge to it though. Fury of Chonburi is the name of the next one, and I'm not sure as to what the hell a Chonburi is. Chonburi is a Thai province where the album was recorded. Why the hell was it recorded there? These guys British? Okay, well, let's get into it. Okay, it's Chonburi. My bad. Really good vocal performance again. Somewhat emotive for sure. I'm not sure how well this works, this chorus section, but it's okay. The song just in general has a very good groove to it. I like the bass on here. Well, that section was very interesting. Nice. Much like the one preceding it, kind of seems to be just a pretty fun song. Sort of a declaration as a band, I have to imagine, considering this is where they were recording. Maybe they're saying their fury is in this place. Did have somewhat of an uncompromising sound and style to it. Very loud, just kind of rock bass tune. Easy to kind of groove with. Had a good rhythm to it, I gotta say. You know, I like that section that was very dense on the bass, because I'm realizing now that there hasn't been a lot of sections of this album where I've been able to pick out certain instruments and be like, wow, that sounds really good right now. It's just kind of doing the rock music noises and having a good time with it. But yeah, that one section there where it was mixed really weird, had the bass doing a lot of things, that was cool. That was cool, like that. Pretty decent track, not necessarily one that's gonna stand out to me in the long run though, I don't think. But The Milkman's Horse is the name of the next track on here. It's done a little bit more mellow again, for sure.
The kind of license and
I came in really nicely.
I just get so overrun. Impossible to get out of my dreams. You scum.
Really liking how emotive this section. Liking those drums rolling it out. That's kind of neat. Definitely another more slow, you know, relaxed tune on here that, similarly to what was it, Iceman, had somewhat of a build-up when you got to that chorus section that really paid off well, and that made the song much more large-sounding, satisfying, if you will, and much less subtle and nuanced at the same time. This song, at the end of the day, seems to be about following your dreams, no matter how unrealistic or out of the ordinary it might be. The very important line in there is, "Get out of my dreams, you scum," you know? I mean, hey, it's right there. I really like the follow-up to that being they weren't meant for anyone but me as well. I mean, you know, it seems kind of redundant in practice, but still really drives that point home. Good stuff. Glasgow Coma Scale Blues is the very strangely titled 11th track. Okay, that is apparently a scale used to assess the level of consciousness of a patient. Once again, this sounds kind of Arctic Monkeys. You know, that feel to it, almost. Interesting section here. Seem to be kind of riffing at this point. Yeah, that one was kind of going back to those earlier tracks where it was just some very standard rock music. And at the end of the day, there's kind of a lot of that on here. Once again, almost seemed very much so in the style of the Arctic Monkeys when it would kind of cut away and go to those more different guitar melodies going on in there. Had that feel to it in some ways anyways, but for the most part just seemed like some very basic by the numbers rock music. It was just kind of there. Yeah, that one was just doing its thing. And honestly, I can kind of say that about you know, like track 9 on here. Some of these later ones kind of having that feel to them as well. And yeah, I hate to bash on it just for being a lot like the genre that it comes from, but at the same time, it's not doing a lot to stand out and be unique in my eyes, at least. Dead for Love is the next one, and the last one on here, also 5 minutes long again, so we'll see how they make use of that time. There's that fluttery melody on the left side there. Somewhat interesting.
And everything he ever did, he only ever did for love.
This is rather dark. Kind of like it though, gotta say.
Everything he ever did, he only
So emotive on this track. Damn. Wow. Okay. Yeah, that last one was quite the thing. That was really good closer. I'll put it like that for sure. Very emotional track. Really hit the feelings on that one. Damn. This song is about war, apparently, and the horrible truths of it. People dying for, you know, the reason of it. Really took this very dramatic sound to it. Had that down very well. Built up throughout the entirety of the track in such a way that felt very good, very climactic, all around just such a solid closer. Can't credit that one enough. The album overall, how does that go? Because, I mean, clearly we have a strong conclusion. I mean, we've come to that point very clearly. That is definitely the case. But all things considered, I feel like there was way too much on here that just seemed like regular rock music and not a lot else. Didn't really have a certain bite to it that, you know, I would want or expect from something made this late along in the 2010s at this point. It sounds a lot like a lot of stuff that came before it, and that's not necessarily an awful thing. You know, if you like this style of music, having more of it isn't really a bad thing. But I just wish that this album had even more moments than it did. It really stood out to me as particularly great, or even just particularly unique and different. There's certainly a lot of moments on here that I did appreciate for what they are. There's a lot of good moments that hit me in a way where I feel like that was definitely the intention, you know. I get the emotions across. It feels the way that I feel like the song should, but there's also an almost equal amount where the entire song is just kind of existing. But the good moments were really good. I have to give it that for sure. Bump it up past like the point of mediocrity or just being average. You know, it makes it into something that I definitely had a positive experience with for sure. Overall, I guess I can feel giving this like a 6+ out of 10. Not to sound super negative on it, it's just that it didn't really cross that threshold into being something consistent, conceptual. It also just had a lot of songs that I wouldn't really think about turning on specifically. It had a lot of songs that didn't do a lot for me. That's just my thoughts on the record. You know, has a lot of moments that I did like and I will be returning to, so that's always a good thing. All I got for you on this one. Drop a like on the video if you did like what you saw today, and subscribe to the channel for more music related content coming your way. Hit the bell for notifications on that same thing as well. And that is just about going to wrap it up for this one, but I will see you in the next video.